Sector 4 of Conquest then. Cheesy times, baby. What are we going to do? We're going to kick some ass and take some names. So in Sector 4, what do we need to do? We need to do 300 damage over times in one battle. We can do that, no problem. Gain health steal up 60 times in one battle. We can do that. Attempt to inflict tenacity down 50 times in one battle. We could do that as well. Not necessarily all at the same time, but yeah, basically. It's good, isn't it? All right, first and foremost, what I'd say is keep an eye out for something like an Imperial Trooper team or a Grievous team. I unfortunately did not get any. However, I did find like a Momo team, and I did find like Ewoks. Anything that generates a lot of turn meter will be your best way of getting damage over times. So Tuskens then, how do they apply dots? It's through the leadership ability of our chieftain over here. Essentially, whenever the enemy is gaining turn meter, whenever an enemy gains bonus turn meter, everybody on our Tusken side is going to gain a stack of momentum. Isn't that great? So they gain turn meter, you gain momentum. Now, if we stack on down over here, whenever they attack one of our Tusken allies, and that Tusken allies has at least 10 stacks of momentum, basically there is a 20% chance plus 5% per relic amplifier level up to a maximum of plus 50% to inflict a stack of damage over time on each attacking enemy for 2 turns, basically. So the more momentum we have, and when they attack us when we have momentum and they get stunned, means that they will then in turn get their dots, basically. So more momentum equals more stacks of dots. That's kind of the long and short of it, really. That's pretty much the whole shebang. So you could do it like against Imperial Trooper team. That should work absolutely fine. Maybe if we were to change up our data discs to be something incredibly defensive instead, let's have a look and see what we've got. There we go. We've just gone for a setup that's incredibly defensive. Lots of entrenched, leaders resolve, heal over times, that sort of thing. You don't have to do this, ladies and gentlemen. You really don't. You just want it to be something that's going to survive a little bit of a beating and go up against a team that's got a lot of turn meter generation. Imperial Troopers are definitely the best for that because the amount of turn meter gains that these guys get is frankly ridiculous. Look at all these dots. And I'm just going to put it on auto basic. Just put it on auto basic and see what happens, I guess. Doop-a-doop-a-doo-doo-doo-doo. Oh, I'm sorry. Are you all gaining turn meter? And then look at that, 38 dots on a short trooper. You want to find yourself an Imperial Trooper team, ladies and gentlemen, because this is just redonkulous. Easily the best way of getting all of your dots done. If you find one Imperial Trooper team, you're gonna be laughing, mate. You're gonna be laughing. And these guys will revive a couple of times, so it's just gonna be mwah, bellissimo, bellissimo. And you're probably also gonna win, because I mean, look at this. This is just ridiculous. I mean, even just between these guys over here, that's over 100. That's over 100. Easy money, baby. Easy money. So Tuskens are definitely the greatest. You don't need to do Tuskens, obviously. If you don't have Tuskens, you can't do it this way. Vader is also another really good way of getting it done, of course. Health steal up and tenacity down coming in next. We can do this in one battle. Isn't that great? Yes, that is great. As usual, you want to find yourself a droidica node just like this one. We're going to abuse that damage immune droidica with our CLS and a couple of friends to get all of this tenacity down, all of this health steal up real quick. It's not a problem at all. Nice and easy, and we should be able to pretty much full auto it. Well, to a certain degree, right? Okay, cool. Now, if you are doing this, I do recommend having a little bit more in terms of booming voice action going on. So I'm just going to drop one of those, and well, I don't really need the fortified. I might keep the fortified and get rid of this entrenched right now. So booming voice helps because it means we're going to attack again. Yeah, we just want to get that droidica into damage immunity. Don't kill him before that. Once he's in damage immunity, it's all about the control. So what are we going to use? You already know it, baby. We're just going in with a standard CLS team over here. You know it's a standard CLS team because that's all we need. And then instead of having Chupio, the best person, in my opinion, to have in the last slot is Emperor Palpatine over here. Emperor Papa Palpatine. I am going to immediately go after the Newt Gunray because he is going to revive, ladies and gentlemen, and we don't want him reviving too much. We're going to go ahead and flip this on back and reverse it, defeat the Newt Gunray once, and then what would be a good way? I think I want to get rid of Asajj. I don't want her doing anything too much over here, and then I'm going to get some damage in on this battle droid. I'm going to put the translation over here on Palps. Get a little bit of damage in. Get a little bit of damage in once again. There we go. Droideka is rolled up into damage immunity. You know that's what we want to have happen. Let's get that Tenacity down over here. Then, this second special over here. Check it out. Booyah! Health steal up to the whole team. Precisely what we want to have happen. Then we want to absolutely control the enemy team. Alright, we do not want that Droideka ever taking a turn ever again. Whenever you get a turn with CLS, make sure you target the Droideka. Then we're just going to take out the other units when we have a spare moment. Make sure you do not, of course, do not get rid of the damage immunity on that Droideka. You do not want to be doing that. You want to keep that there. This is why it's very useful, ladies and gentlemen, to have Booming Voice as part of this setup, because it does mean you're going to be calling Palps to assist, and that means he is going to be generating a little bit more turn meter, which is always a handy thing. Every time you get the chance to do Cackling Doom or whatever it is with Palpatine, you're going to use it. And then we're just going to circle on back once we've gotten rid of everybody. Okay, great. At this point, you can more or less go on full auto. You just have to interrupt every so often to use the second special from Palpatine. But if you want to make it a little bit easier for yourself, just play it manual and try to place as much translation on Palpatine as you possibly can, okay? Simple as that. Nice and easy peasy. Keep on going round. And as you can see, that Droideka is definitely never taking a turn ever again. So there we go. We've got the triple stacks of translation on C-3PO, which means it's going to be easier for us to put triple stacks of translation on Palpatine, which is, of course, the aim over here. Let's keep on calling in to assist, Booming Voice, very, very useful. Let's go ahead and get that second stack of translation on Palpatine. One more, and it's going to get very, very easy. And this is obviously passing up. It's passing over that health steal up to the entire team, so every time we're using it. Unfortunately, we didn't take enough turns with C-3PO, so we've lost it. Well, that's a shame. That's a shame. I guess we're just going to have to do it manually, but we only need to get it, I believe, 60 times. 60 times in total. So we only need to do this, what, like 12 times, basically? And then we'll have it done, which is really not so bad. Not so bad at all. Let's shrug it off, baby. Shrug it off. Give him a little bit of a shock. Flip it on back and reverse it. There we go. Beautiful. Palpatine coming in, taking a lot of turn meter over here. Let's go ahead and drop that translation over there. Wonderful. I think Palpatine's next turn, he should have it again. Isn't that great? Now you can instead, if you want to, put in someone like GBA in the fourth slot, or the fifth slot rather, so that you can sort of have an extra unit to gain that health steal up. But realistically speaking, you're still going to be absolutely fine doing it this way. You'll be fine doing it this way. Trust in the tribe, and all will be revealed. Alright, good. Unfortunately, it looks like we're going to lose translation again. Yeah, we just can't get enough turn meter going with C-3PO, unfortunately, to get Palpatine going. But that is basically it, guys. Basically it. It's not too bad to get through. Do you have to use Palpatine? No, you can use Beasis Mar as well. Her Life Drain special is also able to pass health steal up to the whole team. You can go through organically using teams like Kira under a Mercenaries team, and that's going to get a decent amount of health steal up as well. But this is a very... Oh, I should have used this specially. But this is a very easy way of getting it done. I'm sure you're all aware of this cheesy team now. Make it happen, guys. Make it happen. 10 battles with Crosshair Scarred. I'm not going to go through the teams once again for this sort of thing. We've done this thing on previous sectors. If you just go in with I guess I haven't saved down the teams here. If you go in with teams that have got a lot of high upfront damage, I'm talking about throwing in like BAM lead with Han and Chewie, your GLs, Reva, all that sort of thing. They should be able to get the damage out of the gate to get you to survive with Crosshair, not taking any damage. Really not so bad. So let's talk about the mid-sector boss then. We need to win with Temple Guard surviving, and we need to win without using any attackers in our squad. Okay, I'm going in with the stupidest team ever. I've just got Zealous Ambition, Admiral Raddus, Dash Rendar, Captain Rex, and Boss Nass. This is all about basically abusing Zealous Ambition here and just throwing in Temple Guard. So as long as we get a turn at the start, we should be okay. So, like, if I just drop this bomb... Oh my lord, that's funny. Alright, okay. Well, there you go. Zealous Ambition is kind of nutty, guys. So Leadership Resolve with Zealous Ambition basically turns Adrad into an absolute beast. And that will over here get you Temple Guard surviving and win without using any attackers. If you are struggling with that, you can either look to get more leaders resolved to get more percentile speed, or you can use some consumables like something like this to give you a 50% speed boost. All of that business will count towards getting it done. Moving over to the boss node then, what have we got? We have got Reaver Cakes over here. Win with Smee and win with a full squad of Galactic Republic. Galactic Republic, I imagine going in with a gas team 501st should get the job done. Why are we taking in Snips over here? This should be absolutely fine versus a Reaver team. It might get a little bit hairy, might depend entirely on your data disk setup. But with Zealous Ambition, your Echo will do great damage. With anything that's got like Weak Spot or stuff like that, you'll do some really, really solid damage there after a while, because you'll just ramp up so much damage thanks to all these dots. Both of those options completely viable. Completely viable. And look, they're having a real hard time chewing through us thanks to that fortified data disk that we've got rocking right now. Let's go ahead and cleanse all this. Throw this on over here. I'm waiting for Echo to take his turn, because I'm pretty sure that when Echo's bomb blows up the board... Ooh, I was expecting a little bit more than that, I've got to be honest. But hey-ho, let's send it out. Reaver won't last much longer now. Oh my gosh, she is very tanky though, isn't she? There we go. And we should be absolutely fine now to just clean up house without losing anybody by the looks of things. Looks like gas... Oh, well, maybe I spoke too soon. Maybe I spoke too soon. See if we can get rid of her. Wonderful. Precisely what I'm looking for. Alright, let's just basic over here. Wait for my boy Gas to stand up. Basics. Maybe I shouldn't attack the guy that counterattacks all the time. Maybe that would make more sense. Drop second sister. Work on fifth brother. Come on. Take him down. But yeah, looks like Gas will be absolutely fine in this sort of scenario. Yep, Gas is a good one for Galactic Republic. Obviously, if you've got like JMK Cat, that would be great. Queen Amidala, probably also very, very good here with the Bag Bros. Win with Smee surviving. Obviously, if you've got the pirates, it's going to be a bit of a cakewalk. If you don't have the pirates, it's going to be a little bit harder. So I'm going for something a little bit different this time. Let's see if we can get Commander Ahsoka Tano in. And then if we can get Skiff Guard Lando in. All about the scoundrel setup over here. We want to get into Whistling Birds, and then we just want to turn meter swap with people. If you've got a really fast cat, that will obviously help. So let's see. Reaver's coming in with a big first hit at the start. We'll just go ahead and knock that off her a little bit. Now, if you've got things like Fortified, that's obviously going to help. The enemy just takes so many turns at the start. Quite frankly, it's ridiculous. Into Whistling Birds. Let's go ahead and... See, this is tricky now. What I wanted to do was pass the turn over here. But we do need Dash to take his turn to do the AoE. So I think I have to do this. Oh my lord, I wasn't expecting that. Well, there we go. That's one way of getting it done. One way of getting it done, isn't it, ladies and gentlemen? Getting Dash to have his first turn like that is certainly one way of doing it. Now, that might take you a few attempts if your Smee is particularly low geared, but that is definitely one way of sorting it out. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is going to be Sector 4 in a nutshell. In a nutshell. If you haven't seen my previous guides, please do check them out. Lots of juicy cheese for you. And I'll see you all in the very next video. Peace out, and may the Force be with you.